In today's video, we're going to be having a conversation about if Crown Zenith is really worth the pickup at this point, or whether you should be patient and wait. Now, before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways, and today is the day where we announce the winners. Obviously, we did not have a video on Monday. However, we did have a video on the previous Friday, so we're going to pull from that day to get our third winner, because how do I go and find our three winners is I basically pick a random comment from all three of the videos we post each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you can comment and like on each one and allow yourself for multiple entries and opportunities to win. But drum roll for those three winners. Shout out to Arvin, Trevor Simpson Glass, and then Canuck Singh. Once again, if you, of course, want to enter in, just leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell, and then just message me on Discord if you are one of the winners to claim your prize. We'll go through the verification process. One other exciting piece of announcement. The Discord bot is officially live for beta testing. So with the beta testing, we are currently going to be only showing base set first edition, and you'll be able to kind of play around with a lot of the features, but more or less we're trying to create an algorithm that's going to best allow you to not only track total market cap, track general values of Pokemon, track general just data over time and do comparisons, whether it be 9s to 10s, 9s to raws, etc., but it's overall just a tool that we think we are extremely excited about. Not we think we're extremely excited about, we are extremely excited about, and we think you guys will really enjoy it. So I'll be posting a poll later in the Discord, and we're going to be using the winning result for that poll to see what set you guys are going to want us to have added next to the beta test to see if we can really get some value out of this investment bot. But if you want to be able to have access to that, just hit level 5 in our Discord by just chatting around a little bit in the Discord channel, but links are down in the description to join the Discord. But jumping into today's video now, for a while, one of the biggest questions that I had gotten was, Eli, obviously booster box is extremely expensive. What are your favorite booster boxes to pick? And I had been saying, guys, I think that honestly most booster boxes are not worth the pickup, regardless of whether reprint happens or not. I think people are sleeping on Crown Zenith. I mean, there was an opportunity to pick up Crown Zenith at $41, $42. I even said there was an opportunity as well for people to go pick up some Crown Zenith specialty ETBs at the price of $65, and how I thought that that was going to sell out relatively fast and the hype was going to be there. And I just said, wait until it just hits the market and people realize how amazing of a set this is, and it's going to go crazy. And what happened? It went crazy, and I was hyping it up for the past couple of weeks, and I'm excited to say that I hit on it. So shout out to those who actually listened to my advice, not financial advice, of course, but did listen to me talking about Crown Zenith, and we're picking it up at that $41, $42 price point. You're now seeing as the lowest listed on the site for $68. So I mean, even after fees, if you're just selling on TCG Player, you're cashing out. So shout out to you on that one. And then if we go over and we take a look too at the specialty ETBs, which, you know, not just the standard ETBs, but the specialty ETBs, these are over $100 is the lowest one. So 105. So if you went in at $65 when it was in stock, and I kept telling people, and I wouldn't shut up about it, saying that the specialty ETB was going to pop off, you're crushing it right now. You're talking about at least a 20, 30, maybe 35% plus return after fees if you're selling on TCG Player. And if you're selling in person, I mean, at that price, GG, you're walking away with 50+%. So really excited to see that we hit super hard on this, because people are, I mean, getting that much of a return, and all you had to do was watch a short video and then 3 weeks later wait for prices to skyrocket. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I'm pretty jazzed about that, because I had some people messaging me about it, and I was like, let's go, everyone's making money. But now for the topic of discussion, of course, which is, you know, did I miss the boat, Eli? Is it too late? Should I be not only getting in Crown Zenith, but also as well, what are your thoughts on Crown Zenith singles? Is there an opportunity to kind of approach right now with singles? And so I'm going to give you kind of two different tales. One's going to be for the sealed and one's going to be for the singles. And we're going to talk about the singles first before we get into the sealed. But just starting it off with the Giratina is the one we're going to be showing. This is the most sought after card so far, most expensive card, I should say, in the set. And at its high point, it was selling for around $177. It is now selling for around $150-ish to $155. So there has been a slight dip when it comes to this card's value. Not a crazy amount, like maybe 10-15%, just doing a little bit of math off the top of my head. So the dip itself for that specific card hasn't been crazy. Second most expensive card, 118, was the Arceus. Went down to 108 is kind of what the general market value. Once again, very few percentage drops, like less than 10%. Going to the Mewtwo V-Star. Once again, a very common theme. Obviously, you had a market manipulation day, so please ignore this because a lot of people, you got to be able to take a lot of these charts with a grain of salt. And when you see huge bounces off by this, but more than likely, of course, we are seeing 124 to now sitting at that 105. It looks like is the low, $106. And that's only one listing. After that, it's 110. So realistically, it's dropped only about $12 after that one listing gets bought up. Recent sales are showing for 105, 113. So 10 to 15% has been the general drop that we're seeing since the set itself has been released. Now, does this mean that prices have stabilized? This is kind of it. Now is a good time to get in because if you've been following my channel for a while, I have a very general theory when it comes to investing in singles or picking up singles for your collection. My general theory is this. You first get the product, you open it because it's fun to open, you then sell it, and then you wait a couple of months. Once the supply has flooded the market and prices have crashed for the singles, that's when you get to collect the singles at a much cheaper of a price. You get the whole experience. You get to open the product, sell it at the market top, buy it back, add it to your collection, and you made money in the process, or at least you lost as little as you possibly could since the premium prices are typically at the very beginning. However, if you're looking right now, a lot of these premium prices for specifically the mainline Galarian Gallery are doing really well. They have been holding. It's really just the secondary gallery, right? Like the main just, slot. It's like the Radiant Charizard, right? Went for $50, dropped all the way down to $11. Yikes. Pikachu Secret went from $87, now sitting in the 30. Oof, that's pretty bad. But when you're looking at Elsa Sparks, on the other hand, Elsa Sparks has been performing pretty strong. So obviously you have to take everything you see here with a grain of salt, but predominantly Galarian Gallery has been the one, especially the top performers, or the top most expensive one have been the top performers when it comes to their overall strength, and those in the just standard Crown Zenith have been, for the most part, the ones that have performed the worst, other than the Elisa Sparks. I said Elsa Sparks, my bad. But yeah, so do I think now is the time to pick up those quote-unquote most expensive ones, top performers, the most of the cards? Pretty simple answer, and it's really no. Even if you say this is it for Crown Zenith ETBs, you have to understand that there's still a ton of Crown Zenith product that's going to be coming out. Everything is going to be pushed out in waves. We've got the Pikachu VMAX boxes coming out this month. We've got collection tins, mini tins. We've got premium collections. We've got pin collections. So the amount of product for Crown Zenith that is going to be coming out is still quite abundant. So in terms of the overall single price, I think you're going to expect a lot larger of a shift. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if I'm being completely honest, it wouldn't surprise me if you saw the Giratina over the next 4 to 6 months go sub $100. I don't think that that's that wild to say. It's at 151. That'd be about a 33% drop. So, we've seen much, much larger dips. So, if it did 50%, it would not surprise me. But I'm going to be conservative here. I'm going to say 33% is kind of what my shot is. Around that 100 to 105 price point is what I expect it to be in the next 4 to 6 months. So if you're someone that wants to be patient because you're waiting for the market to make its correction because of all the Crown Zenith product that's still going to come out, then you still have plenty of time to really wait before you pick up. Don't FOMO and think that prices are all of a sudden going to just come up from here, because I don't think they are. Worst case scenario is that, hypothetically speaking, the demand for this set is so high, and with the new waived product that's continuously coming out, and it might not, make a huge demand impact based off of the supply getting eaten up so quickly because it's being waved out, and you could see prices kind of go stagnant and slowly go down or slowly go sideways. And so at the end of the day, it's not going to go up. It's more than likely going to slightly go up, down, or it's going to just absolutely dip. Dip makes the most sense in my opinion because it's just basic economic theory, more supply. You've got a very, we know what the demand is at this point. So, and prices, even with the demand for singles, are going down because the supply is just going to continuously go up as more product is being opened. So that's just what I think is the best play for most people on picking up singles. Just wait, be extremely patient. Do I think it's worth it if you really wanted to let's say go pick up a Radiant Charizard for $11? I mean, honestly, once again, I know this might seem really cheap, but it wouldn't surprise me if this went to like $7 or $5. So if you're like, I just want to pick it up now, like, it's only $5, not a big deal. That, of course, that's your prerogative. But for me personally, I like to really make sure that I'm saving the most because it adds up a ton when I'm trying to master set a collection. So with that being said, I think that you can still be patient when it comes to picking up just any of the singles at this moment in time. Just wait once all the waves have come out for the product and we have a real understanding of what the true market price is going to look like as prices either go flat or they go down and correct and crash. I think that's the best play. Now, when it comes to the sealed product, that is a completely different story to be told. Now, we're going to start off actually with the Crown Zenith specialty ETBs. Historically speaking, one of the most common themes, and this happens every single set release, and I get asked the same question every single set release. Eli, they're sold out of X specialty ETB product. And by X, I mean Crown Zenith, Lost Origin, Pokemon Go. Doesn't matter. This happens every single time. Leading up to the release and a couple days after the release, it sells out. And then about a couple weeks later, it goes back in stock, and then it stays back in stock for a very long time. So for those that are panicking on the PC ETBs, I think that is entirely possible that you're going to more than likely see it open back up. So if you're trying to add it to your collection or you're panic FOMOing, trying to get in at an opportunity, I think more than likely for the Crown Zenith specialty ETB, I think that it's pretty close to its top. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to like 120, 125, but really I think it's pushing it at that point before it does end up being listed back, because that's just what the Pokemon company has just historically done every single time. And so what I, once again, not a financial advisor, would recommend though, is that as we get near its top, prices are continuing to go up. The minute you hear that it's relisted on the Pokemon Center website, if you're just sitting on it and you're just watching the price climb because it's literally gone up like $30 in the past week, you got to get ready to sell and not leave profits on the table, because it's going to start crashing. People are immediately going to start buying it at 65 and try and take advantage of the current market prices on TCG Player and other places. So make sure if you are sitting on some right now that you invested in and you picked up when I talked about it a couple weeks ago, you're not leaving those profits on the table. You're not getting greedy. And even if you don't sell all of it right now or in the next week or two, or whenever the, expected amount comes out with, at least, 25%, 30%, 50%, whatever number you feel comfortable with, where you're like, okay, if I at least sell this amount, I'm going to make my money back. Just make sure we're not getting too greedy when it comes to that. So I do expect there to be more of this print to come out. And for those that are wanting to, once again, pick it up, add it to their collection, or just hop in on an opportunity, just wait. $65 more than likely will come back. I'd be stunned if it didn't, because history has repeated itself for every single set that we've ever had a Pokemon Center ETB, except for like the first two. So, patience is just going to be a virtue with this one. And whether it, gets back in supply and it just sits there on the site for another 4 to 6 months and the price ends up crashing on TCG Player, do I think that you're going to have the opportunity to make a flip on it? I think it'll be less likely once that does sit on the website, because unless you're someone that isn't actively aware that you can go pick it up on the website for $65 instead of the $105 current market price, which I would please hope that people were aware of that. I'm assuming that you're just not going to see that 105 price again, and it'll just be a good long-term pickup play because Crown Zenith is arguably one of the best sets we've ever seen, and if not one of the best sets in the Sword and Shield era, so I think it'll be an extremely good medium to long-term pickup. Now, Crown Zenith Elite Trainer Boxes. This one, just the standard Elite Trainer Boxes, this is where things get a little interesting, right? You've heard the story for the Pokemon Center exclusive, you've heard the story for the singles. Where do we stand on just the standard Pokemon Center ones? Now, obviously, as far as it stands right now, we've gotten zero more information in regards to more of the ETBs coming. We've gotten zero supply of it, at least on my distributors, which I have like 5 or 6 distributors. So no information there in terms of having a supply for it. And it just seems as if we have absolutely no idea what the future really holds for, reprints. Whether that be, booster boxes, which we've been talking about for the past couple months, or whether it be just Crown Zenith ETBs, and they're going to just, fall at the wayside and play the exact same game that these booster boxes are, which is the game of not getting reprinted, and this is kind of it for the Sword and Shield era, right? And so for that exact reason, do I think it's entirely possible that you could see a reprint for these? I would be pretty surprised since it is such a new set if there isn't, and I don't think the Pokemon company is going to be like, oh yeah, Crown Zenith came out, you had your chance, time for it to hit 100, 150 bucks in ETB. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. But do I think that but I think that it's out of the possibility of it not getting a reprint ever again? I mean, it's hard not to rule everything out when we're sitting at this point in time and we're still waiting for booster box reprints. But at the end of the day, I think here's what I'm going to say. And once again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I think you have to look at the ETBs the same way you're looking at the booster boxes right now, right? We have heard zero information about booster box reprints. We've heard zero information about ETB second or third wave coming, right? I think that they're probably in the same boat, and it wouldn't surprise me that if we were to get a reprint for booster boxes, we're probably going to get a reprint for Crown Zenith ETBs around the same time, if not shortly after. So if you're someone that believes, like myself, that there's more than likely still going to be Sword and Shield reprinted product, then I would say that you're probably under the same assumption for Crown Zenith. Maybe you're not. Maybe you have a different assumption. But for myself, that's kind of the game that I'm really playing when I'm looking at this. Now, if you believe that this is it for Sword and Shield, then be prepared for this to probably be it for Crown Zenith. Do I think that makes sense? Not at all. But nothing makes sense at this point, which is the only thing that makes sense. So it's like you just gotta play the game and just take everything in a grain of salt. You can sit here like I've been doing myself and try and go off the history of what Pokemon's been doing. And see that if it's going to hopefully repeat itself, but obviously we are in unprecedented times when it comes to the switching of silver borders. So who knows ultimately what that's going to entail. But for myself, when it comes to picking up these ETBs, I'm going to be patient because ultimately at the end of the day, I think that if you're looking at this as an investment opportunity, I know people are going to flame me or hate me for saying this, but I think you kind of missed the boat if you're picking it up at this $65 price point. If you go in and pick it up at MSRP, which some places are still doing that, I mean, there's still drops that happen from time to time. If you can get it for $50 or cheaper, I think you still got a good opportunity. Even $55, I would say, is decent, but not my favorite pickup. I'd much rather wait at that point for that $50 MSRP price point or cheaper. But if you are paying $60, $65, I think your entry point is something where I feel like your risk to reward ratio at that point is not there. And I would just be patient at that point. So don't want to end up overpaying for something and then all of a sudden a Crown Zenith print comes out and the price of it crashes down to $40, $45 and you're out $20 per and you're just sitting on 10 cases worth and boom, there goes your, what, $2,000. So it's like price, or is it 2,000 or 200? 20 every 10? No, it's 2,000. You'd be out quite a bit if you had 10 cases worth. So let's not accidentally over leverage yourself while the price of this product is extremely, I would say priced accordingly, but I guess for how quickly it's gone up, you can say it's extremely volatile at this moment in time. So if you get it at that $50 price point, let's say you buy like a couple cases worth, like 3 or 4 at $50 and prices crash and they go down to 40, 45, guess what you do? you dollar cost average. Pretty simple. So it's going to be a lot harder of a dollar cost average at that higher price point of 65. So just being patient once again, and hoping for a better opportunity at that point is what I would personally do. So ultimately, at the end of the day, though, we 100% have zero understanding on if we're going to be getting prints one way or another. So make your own best decision that you feel like fits best for you. But I'm always someone that likes to err on the side of being patient, because I think ultimately any month now, whether it be end of February, early March, late March, early April, whatever that is, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pokemon company just all of a sudden just hit us with an absolute dump of product, and Crown Zenith would probably follow with that. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I'm just trying to go off of history of Pokemon, which is kind of tough to do when you're in an unprecedented time. But that is all for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this very informative when looking at singles, Pokemon Center Specialty ETB, as well as the standard ETB, since we're having a conversation about what Crown Zenith product is available at this moment in time. But if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, all you have to do is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded videos for you to do so each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you want to be a part of the awesome Discord community and be able to take advantage of our new Discord bot, which will hopefully help you guys learn to become better Pokemon investors, take advantage of the new beta, all you have to do is hit level 5 in our Discord to be able to access this new bot. But that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all once again so much for watching. Until then, I will see you all on Wednesday. Peace.